radio.uccs.edu.
I wish there was a place where I could get all my UCCS athletic information, game previews, game results. I wish there was a place where I could get interviews with players and coaches.
There is, and it's called The Lions Den, and it's found exclusively on UCCS Radio, so join hosts MJ and Martin every Tuesday at 10 on The Lions Den, the official source for UCCS sports.
Hello, I'm Pam Shockley-Zalabak, and you are tuned into The Lions Den, the official source for UCCS sports.
Gentlemen, once again, welcome in. You're tuned in to The Lions Den, the official source for UCCS sports. I'm the sports MC, MJ Arjamandi, broadcasting live inside the Roar office on the beautiful campus of the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. And I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime, Amber, the malicious McAfee. Amber, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Great.
Yes.
Where do we go from here, Amber? Great.
Up.
Up to where?
I don't know. What's
To
better than great?
unprecedented heights here
That's
on
right.
the Lions Den.
Yes.
We're back, dude. Better than ever, dude.
It's been too long.
Too long, dude.
Yeah, it was almost like 2 months.
2 months, dude.
It's too long.
It is too long.
It's too long.
Things went down while we were away. We might have been on break, but the teams were not.
No.
So we got some stuff to talk about. But first, Amber, how was your 2-month vacation?
It was pretty chill. I watched a lot of movies. Feel like I went like a whole month with just movies every day.
Netflix?
No, I was like renting them from Redbox, or I'd
Okay.
just like go to the store and just buy random movies I never even heard of.
What was your favorite movie you watched over break? I know we talked about a movie before break. It was like Killer Sharks in Tornadoes or something crazy
the
like
sci-fi
that.
movie. Yeah, nah. My favorite one was probably a scary movie called You're Next, because I don't know, the main character wasn't stupid. She actually had like killer instincts, but it kind of
That
turned her
never
into...
happens.
I know. I was like, that's kind of a different twist on it. So I was probably became one of my favorite scare or horror movies, I guess you could call it. I don't know. It was different.
Who's next?
You're Next.
You're next.
Yeah.
Okay, you're next.
Yeah, I was like, it's different.
Okay.
Suppose.
Any other good ones over the break that you watched?
No, not really. I think that was about it. Yeah, I think that was about it. That was
2
good.
months of movies, huh? Movie marathon.
Yeah,
Good
it was
thing.
fun.
Gotta love the red box.
Yeah, I love movies, so I was like, oh, I don't have anything to do. I get to just watch movies all day. So
Things could be worse.
yeah, I was like, wasn't bad.
Nice. What else did you do?
I worked a lot. I moved, and then
Moved?
yeah.
That
I
doesn't
hate
sound like a
moving.
very chill break there, Amber.
I
You
know.
moved.
It was more
you
towards the
worked.
end though.
Okay.
Okay, at work, you got cut after like 2 hours of being there. And like most of the days I would go in and they're like, oh, we don't need you. And they'll send me home. I'm like, sweet, go read a book or something.
Or watch a movie.
Watch a movie. I was like, go out. I went bowling.
Bowling.
I suck at it. I threw a lot of gutter balls.
Oh, didn't play with the bumpers, huh?
No.
No bumper bowling?
No.
Mm,
But it was
I
pretty
see.
chill.
Okay, so some bowling, some movies, some moving. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
How was yours?
It's good. Way too fast, Amber. It's already over. It is a new semester. This is my
Yeah.
final semester here at UCCS as a student.
That needs like a woo or something.
Or like an oh.
with the lights shining. in the
Yes,
back.
I see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's a 14-week tunnel, and I see the light right at the end of it, and I am out of here.
Sorry.
That's right. It's my last semester, Amber, so I am pretty excited. But with that comes a lot of work. I'm working on my thesis this semester, and well, I did that last semester too, but that's very taxing. And that's very tiresome, and so I'm doing that. So I did do that over break, worked on my thesis. I spent some time with the family.
Fun stuff.
I went to Blackhawk.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my sister turned 21 for the first time ever. She had never been 21 before.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was
What
her
do
first
you know?
time being 21. Yeah, so we went out to Blackhawk, and I stayed the night there. And it was great. What I remember, it was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome, nice.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I didn't necessarily win, but I don't think you really go to the casino expecting to win.
No, I think it's just like, well, for your sister, it's one of those things you just got to do because you turned 21.
Right. She won, though, actually. Not a lot, but she didn't lose. She won like $20 or something, which...
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I think if you don't lose a lot of money, you won.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of consider that. So, yeah, she had a good time, it seemed like. That was a lot of fun. But, yeah, way too fast. We're already back. New semester. Things are rolling. We've been covering games. Softball's about to start. I cover softball very extensively. I write all the previews, the recaps, broadcast those games. So that's on the horizon. Yeah, that's going to be busy.
Yeah.
We've had things going on. What's that?
It's going to be good for softball to start.
I can't wait, Amber.
Hopefully the weather breaks for them.
Well, they were already We
so.
should have been covering some softball today during the show. But the games got canceled on Saturday because of the snow. Opening weekend was canceled.
That's rough. That's really
Wah,
rough. Yeah.
wah.
I know that feeling. I bet they are like one of those people, like the teams, that they're like, I wish I would have chosen indoor sports. I
Yeah.
don't have to deal with the snow. Because I do that a lot with track and cross country. I'm like, why'd I ever choose this sport? You got to run out in the cold
Yeah.
or freeze to death.
In Colorado.
And it sucks. Yeah. No, your meets get canceled or your games get canceled for softball. It sucks.
That's not okay.
Yeah, I was like, it sucks because you do all that hard work.
The
and then it's like,
preparation is
damn.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No payoff.
Yeah.
That is
Don't know where
frustrating.
you are. So
So, yeah, we should be talking about softball, but we're not gonna because it didn't happen. But, one thing I'm really excited about here, Amber, is the new development over the winter break for the Lions Den show,
yeah.
which is an expansion.
Whoop.
I am really excited about this, Amber. This was something that Martin and I wanted to do about a year ago, but we just were unable to get things going like we wanted. But now, Amber, as you know, our show, Tuesdays at 10, will now just be a recap show because Thursdays at 10 will be the expansion show featuring all the previews for the upcoming weekend.
So you want to tune into both because you got to know how the teams do on
That's right.
Tuesdays, and then you got to know what's coming up so
That's
that you can
right.
attend them.
Not
So-
so shameless plug. You got to
Yeah.
listen to both shows now. That's
Yeah.
right. If you want to know what happened over the weekend, tune in Tuesdays at 10. If you want to know what's coming up for the weekend, next weekend, you got to tune in Thursdays at 10.
That's right.
That's tricky stuff, but I am very excited about that. And our first new show is going to be this upcoming Thursday at 10. And it's actually going to feature a new co-host. And so Amber is going to be with me on Tuesdays, the flagship show,
Yep.
the original, holding it down. And then we got a new co-host coming in on Thursday's show to work with me as well. So we're moving on up, Amber.
Making big things happen.
That's right.
Popping.
It's popping. It
It's
is popping.
popping.
That's what happens. When the athletic program grows and expands, so does the Lions Den. We got to meet the needs of the millions and millions of listening Lions, Amber. They have been harping for an expansion show. We want more Lions Den. You ask
Got
and
it.
you shall receive.
Right?
That's right, Amber. That is exciting.
Yes.
So even if softball had taken place, I mean, we'd cover it, but we wouldn't preview anything.
Right.
But we can't recap because it didn't happen. But other things did happen, Amber, as you know, because the basketball teams were in action over break. Quite a
Yes,
few
we were busy.
games. There was 9 games overall for the women's team, 9 for the men's team. One team did kind of the polar opposites. One of the teams went 6-3 over break. The other team went 3-6 over break. So
It's interesting.
I think it's very interesting. I'm a sucker for irony, and I feel like there's a lot of irony there at the
Yeah.
moment. But we're going to go ahead and talk about all of those games, or at least the signature games, what happened, where the teams are at. We're going to talk track and field with our resident expert, Amber. That is
Yep.
you, Amber the Malicious McAfee.
Whoop.
That is you. So we're going to talk about that. And but first, there was a football game on this past weekend. And
yeah.
it's the last game of the season, and I feel like, as a sports show, we have to at least mention that game. Great
Yeah.
commercials.
Yeah.
I think the Bronco fans have to be very pleased with the commercials, although Peyton wasn't in any of them, which was kind of surprising.
But don't worry, a former Bronco player, Tim
Tebow.
Tebow, was in one.
That is kind of
So-
ironic. That's the only way Tebow was going to get on TV the day of the Super Bowl was to
That's
be in a
right.
commercial. Yeah. That is unfortunate for Bronco fans that Tim Tebow had a more successful day than Peyton Manning on the Super Bowl day, though.
It was a
Ooh.
little sad.
There's another wah, wah, wah. That is sad. I legitimately feel bad for the Bronco fans.
Yeah, no.
You don't?
No.
I feel bad.
I feel bad for the authentic, like, real.
Okay.
I've been going for the Broncos
Fair.
since the beginning.
Fair.
Fans. It's
Yeah.
more like the ones who just jumped on the bandwagon. It's like,
Yeah, those
Yeah.
half, I don't feel that bad
yeah,
for.
I was like, I don't really feel much.
You
love
know,
for
but in all fairness, the Seahawks fans, I think, have done a lot of that too. That's any sport. I think it's any
Yeah.
team. But I can't tell you how many Seahawks paraphernalia I've seen today. And over the course of this season, I have seen very little. And
Yep.
already they win the Super Bowl. Everybody's got their new shiny hats, still got the stickers on. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
well, they won. So, yeah, I'm a fan now. Look, people, I'm a Raider fan, and I know my team sucks. But I'm still a Raider fan. And that's what a true fan is all about. So for you Bronco fans who have been Bronco fans since you started being a fan or since
Or a
you followed
baby.
sport, yeah, that I do feel bad for you because that is really
That's rough.
heartbreaking.
Yeah,
It
I was
is.
like, it's rough. 'Cause I literally thought the game was going to be closer than what it was.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it was the number one offense and the number one defense team. I thought it was at least going to be like 19-14, like a field goal difference at the end or something. But no.
It just validated to me everything I feel like I've heard growing up, which is defense wins championships.
Yes.
Offense puts butts in the seats, but defense wins championships.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened. Broncos, great team. Obviously, way better than my Raiders, better than your Redskins
yeah, I
this
was
year.
like, they did better than Redskins.
They're good. They were good. They just got a little bit outmatched during the Super Bowl. That's a ferocious defense, one of the best of all times.
Yeah.
That was a great matchup. As an actual fan of sports, of football, I don't think you wanted a better matchup, a different matchup. You want the number one offense against the number one defense. This time, defense prevailed. Manning's already signed for next year, though. He'll be back. And that's
Need to worry there. See?
that's
I
right.
guess they might still make it next year.
I would still
maybe.
feel better as a Bronco fan than I do right now as a Raider fan, at least for the near future. So, you know, it's a little frustrating, I can imagine, but they were still there. I wish my team was in it. They were not. However, the slate has been wiped clean, and my Raiders now are just as good or bad as the Broncos with a higher draft pick, I might add. So, I am excited about that. Tough break for you Bronco fans, but, you know, at least you went to the dance, you know?
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Made it.
You made it. It's more
You
than I
can't
can
really
say.
get bad
Yeah. So,
about it.
that is tough. That's unfortunate, but you know what? You were there. So,
Watch how many Seahawk fans come out next season.
Oh
I'm
my
just saying,
gosh,
everyone's going to have a Seahawk shirt.
it's going to be kind of disgusting, to be honest. But you know what? It is what it is, and I'll still be wearing my Raider stuff, even though they're terrible and they're not getting any better anytime soon. But that's
Faith in
okay.
My skin's getting better.
It's a new season, Amber. The season is over, which
Got a
is
new
the most,
coach.
that is the most promising thing for a fan whose team
Right.
sucks is the first day of the off season.
Right.
So hence I'm wearing the tie. Like, you know what? Season's over. We got to rep the Raiders again. So Bronco fans, you can hate me. You already did. That's all right. But what you can't hate is UCCS, because if you're listening to the Lions Den, obviously you care about UCCS athletics.
Right.
And I got to tell you, Amber, this men's basketball team right now, red hot. Unfortunately, the women's basketball team right now is not.
Yeah. Opposite ends there.
Yeah, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum between the men's and the women's basketball team at the moment. There's still plenty of time, 7 games remaining in the regular season, so nothing has been decided yet, though.
Nope.
Still got a lot
Still
of
a
time.
chance.
A lot of games. Lot
Still
to play
running.
for. That's right. They got a lot. And as you know, track and field.
Yes. We're busting some rust off of break. back
Rustin.
into-
Oh, so was it a rust buster?
Yeah, kind
I thought
of was
that
like a
the
rust
beginning
buster.
of fall. Is that why they call it the rust buster?
Yeah, it is.
Is that really?
Yeah.
It just now dawned on me. Is that where the name came from? It's
Yeah.
the first big meet of the new year, so you're busting off the rust. Is that really where?
Yeah, because you're
Working
not
out?
running as much as you normally would
Huh.
in a regular race. So they're just like, rust buster. You're going to bust some rust off those legs and get going. So that's really where it came from. Usually
Interesting.
for track, though, they just call it something different. And then we go in there and run a off-distance race. So, like, I would normally run an 800, but I would run a 600-yard for my first race. So it's a little
Gotcha.
off. But
Rust
that's
buster.
what it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a rust buster this past weekend. It wasn't called the rust buster, but that's what it was essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So
Yep.
we're gonna talk about that.
Let's do it.
We We should, but we should take a commercial break first. The millions and millions of listening Lions are on the edge of their seats right now, waiting for the recaps. But we gotta play some music, take a break, pay our bills.
Get the party going.
Get the party going. You know, well, we don't really have bills, so we're not gonna do that. But the rest of it is true. We are gonna get the party started. We are gonna take a break. We are gonna get some music. We are gonna come back with all the recaps from over the break and this past weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, millions and millions of listening Lions, listening intently at the moment, don't go anywhere. We are gonna be back right after this song from Fort Minor. Who's it? Fort Minor.
Fort Minor.
Yeah, easy for me to say. So yeah, remember the name, if I can remember the name. It's kind of ironic. But we're going to go ahead and listen to that. We'll be back in just a few minutes right here on the Lions Den.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him, but fuck him, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still even him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, now the picture connects. Never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote. His will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds. The skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% fear. Be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse. This dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard he fucking with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
They call him Ryu, he's sick and he's spitting fire. And Mike got him out the dryer, he's hot. Found him in Fort Minor with top, but a fucking nihilist porcupine. He's a prick, he's a cock. The type women wanna be within, rappers hope he gets shot. 8 years in the making, patiently waiting to blow. Now the record with your notice taking over the globe. He's got a partner in crime, his shit is equally dope. You won't believe the kind of shit that comes out of this kid's throat. Top. He's not your everyday on the block. He knows how to work with what he's got, making his way to the top. He often gets a comment on his name. People keep asking him, was it given that birth or does it stand for an acronym? No, he's living proof. Let him rock in the booth. He'll get you buzzing quicker than a shot of vodka with juice. Him and his crew are known around as one of the best. Dedicated to what they do and give 100%.
Forget Mike, nobody really knows how or why he works so hard. It seems like he's never got time because he writes every note and he writes every line. And I've seen him at work when that light goes on in his mind. It's like a design is written in his head every time before he even touches a key or speaks in a rhyme. And those motherfuckers he runs with, the kids that he signed, ridiculous, without even trying. How do they do it? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Fort Minor, M. Shinoda, Styles of Beyond, Ryu, Top Beer, Machine Shop.
UCCS Radio is brought to you by the generous support of the College of Business.
Listen to the BK Lounge every Monday at 6 p.m. for all the up-to-date sporting news and fantasy updates, exclusively on UCCS Radio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you're tuned in to the Lions Den, the official source for UCCS Sports. Amber, the malicious McAfee, when I ask you this question week in and week out, what do you say? When I ask, what makes us the official source for UCCS sports?
Because we give you all the official inside scoops on UCCS sports, including interviews with the stars, runners, athletes, coaches, people who went to the game. Okay, maybe not the people who went to the game. But
I went to the games.
yeah.
Co-host?
Yeah, so it kind of is
Yeah.
people who went to the game.
Yeah, I was
Get the
there.
inside scoop.
That's right. I'm at every single game that we host.
Yeah, that's true.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
it's
they pay
true.
me to do that, too. They pay me for that?
It's fun. I love doing
I
it.
love
so-
my job. Are you kidding me? I love my job, Amber. We got to talk about some stuff. Because you're right. We got some inside scoops. We even got a couple of interviews to share with you right now, or in a few minutes when they're better timed. But we do have some interviews. One, namely with Darius Pardner. I talked to him a little bit earlier today and got his thoughts on the current standing for the UCCS men's basketball team, the two big wins this past weekend. And then I also caught up with Jerry Pickle following a big game against CSU Pueblo at the beginning of winter break. So we're going to air both of those interviews a little bit later. But first, let's just talk a little bit about the UCCS men's basketball team, Amber. They are the hottest team in the RMAC right now.
Fire.
On fire.
Yes.
They are on fire. They got a 4-game winning streak right now. Right now, they're sitting at 13 wins overall.
Crazy.
9 conference wins. You know how many wins they had all of last season, Amber?
Wasn't it like 2?
They had 5 overall
Oh.
wins.
See, I was way off. I know they won 2 at least.
Oh, you're really shortchanging them now, too. But still,
No.
think about it. 5 wins last year. This year, they already have 13, and there's still 7 more games to go.
Right.
They are going to literally triple their wins from a season ago. That is unheard of. And honestly,
They just made UCCS history then, basically, when you think about
that is something we're going to have to fact check
it. Yeah.
with my boss, the sports information director, Jared Werner.
We should.
And we're going to have to see what is the biggest turnaround in program history. Because from 5 wins to, talking to Darius, he's confident they're getting 17 by the end of this season.
Yeah.
So that's still quite a few more wins. I say they're at least going to win the 2 more, and I don't want to shortchange them either. They could likely win more than that, but at least 2. They're going to win at least 2. So that means they're at 15 wins overall. 3 times more than they won all of last year.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. We got to fact check that and find out
we
the
should,
answer.
because I'm like, that would be interesting.
But that is
see.
unbelievable. They are so good. And, you can't take credit away from the players. The players have delivered this season. But do you know how players deliver?
How?
By coaching. I think it's all coaching. I really do. I think it's a lot of coaching. The turnaround from head coach Jeff Culver. It was his first season last year here at UCCS as a head coach.
Right.
5 wins. And now this year he's implemented his own philosophies, brought in another great recruiting class. He's getting people to buy in to whatever it is he's selling. They are drinking the Kool-Aid. And it's working.
It is.
It is working. And so, as great as the players have been, they've been great. But they got to do what the coach says. And the coach has had a pretty good game plan. So, head coach Jeff Culver, if you're listening, kudos to you, sir. Really well done. Shout out, absolutely. And the millions and millions of listening Lions, they got to realize what a turnaround that has been. So,
That's amazing.
it is amazing. And so, if you haven't figured it out, they are the team who's won 6-3 since the break. Out of 9 games, they've won 6, lost 3. They did hit a 3-game losing streak in the midst of break, but right now they're on a 4-game winning streak. Huge,
They just
Amber.
turned it over.
Turned it over. They're
They're like, we were just messing with you guys over break.
well, the 3 games,
Yeah.
that was kind of their rust buster.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
there you
well,
go.
the rust is gone. We're getting back in the
Right.
thick of things. And so, over the break, since we last met here on the Lions Den, the Mountain Lions have had signature wins over both New Mexico schools. In fact, they swept New Mexico, both New Mexico teams, New Mexico Highlands and Western New Mexico. Those were the first games that we had at break.
Right.
When the Lions Den stopped, we had those games. And then those were the last games that they've had this past weekend as well. So since we last met, they have swept 2 New Mexico teams, 4 wins just against New Mexico teams. They went down to CSU Pueblo on January 4th. I was there, Amber. I called that game, and that was one of the most exciting games I've called all season long. UCCS scored over 100 points, which, for those of you who don't follow UCCS sports, that's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
They don't do that all the time.
Nope.
But they did it on January 4th against the rival CSU Pueblo, and they won 101-93 at the Masari Arena in Pueblo.
That's awesome.
To beat down the rival.
I'm sad I missed this game.
Yeah, on rival turf.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. I don't know why I missed this game. Where was that?
We got a carpool, Amber.
Yeah. MJ, that was your fault.
My bad.
That was
Oops.
your fault. You're
My
supposed
bad.
to take me with you.
My bad. My B. So, yes, big win against CSU Pueblo. They did lose to Colorado Christian while scoring 100 points. They lost 110-100. Scoring 100 points and losing at this level, that's unbelievable. The defense didn't show up for either team. Basically, it was an offensive game. It was kind of an all-star game when the West meets the East, and nobody really plays defense. It's a slam dunk competition, and I'm telling you, that's kind of what that turned into. Unfortunately for UCCS, the Cougars shot over 50% from three.
Holy cow.
They shot better from downtown than they did from the field.
That's crazy.
You are going to win a lot of games when you do that, and you're going to lose a lot of games when your opponent does that.
Yep.
So, I mean, they lost. It was a tough loss, but offensively, they showed up. I think defensively, they learned a little bit about their rotations, how to close out, how to contest those threes, and not allow that extra pass on the other end for the wide open look.
Right.
And so I think a lot has come about that. And we're going to see how things turn around, or things have turned around. They did lose to Colorado Mines and Colorado Mesa, both of which good teams, though, I might add.
Yeah.
They have beaten Western New Mexico. They beat New Mexico Highlands, and that was this weekend.
No, they didn't just beat them, though. They kind of, sweeped.
Oh, and how about Blackout Night, Amber?
Blackout Night was so fun.
Did you go to Blackout Night?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was best game I've been to in a while for the UCCS game.
I couldn't agree more. The Mountain Lions on Blackout Night, which those of you who don't know, Blackout Night is the biggest sporting event of the year for UCCS,
Yes.
by far.
Yeah.
By far. So we had a doubleheader that night featuring UCCS against Black Hill State on Blackout Night, and that was a disadvantage for Black Hill State.
Yep.
They got beat up. Both games. The women won, and I got to tell you, we'll get to the women in just a moment, but on Blackout Night, the women's basketball team for Black Hill State came in with a 9-game winning streak in the conference. They won their previous 9 conference games. They were the hottest team in all of the RMAC women's and men's basketball, and the women stopped them.
Put the pressure on.
They
You know what I
did.
actually thought was pretty cool about the Blackout game is that both the boys and the girls team, right before halftime, they both made that 3-pointer shot from half court. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Because you've never seen that where both teams make the half court
true.
shot.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
You were absolutely
I was like,
right. At the end of the
"Let's
first
use that."
half, Gabby Ramirez comes out of nowhere. She was a 1/10 of a second too late on her shot, and she put it up right as the clock expired. It went in from nearly half court,
Yeah.
but it didn't count.
Which sucked, but it was still cool.
It was cool because in the men's game, there was a half court shot at the end of half as well,
Yep.
right at half court, but that time it counted. So you're right. Both games had a half court shot at the end of the first half. One counted, one didn't. Both, 1/10 of a second
Yeah,
apart.
it was crazy.
But the crowd erupted both times. And I say, even though the women's shot didn't count, Amber, I think it motivated the team. It got the fans
Yep.
hyped, and it really turned things around. Because in the second half, UCCS came back and they won.
No joke.
So the men's game, though, let's talk briefly about that men's game. Because UCCS played Black Hill State, and the Mountain Lions won by 29 points.
Yes.
That is the largest margin of victory
It was almost 40 points.
at one time.
Yeah, it was
And
almost
they let
40
off the
points.
gas at the end.
Yeah.
The
But
final
it was free throws that they caught back up
Yeah.
on. It was ridiculous.
So
but
the Yellow Jackets made a run of it, but
wasn't good
it was
enough.
out of hand. It was out of
Yeah.
control. Mountain Lions won. 29 points. That marks the biggest conference win for head coach Jeff Culver here at UCCS in his 2 years.
Wow.
That's a benchmark, I think. I think that's something you say, let's improve upon that now. Let's go out and beat a team by more than 29, by 30. That's anytime you can do that to a conference team.
Oh, yeah.
That's big. And so that really turned things around for UCCS. They won the next night as well against Shattern State, a much closer game, but still about a 10-point win. And then, as I mentioned, this past weekend, they went down to the Land of Enchantment. I still don't know why they call it that, because I never really feel enchanted when I go to New Mexico.
No, it's like
I feel very enchanted when I get out of there and I come home back to Colorado. But they went down to the Land of Enchantment, and it was very enchanting for them.
Sorry, maybe that's why they call it Land of Enchantment.
Because everybody else goes to
Like
New Mexico
the
and
athletes,
dominates?
Well, yeah, maybe like the athletes who travel there, they just dominate, and then they come back and they're like, yeah, we're the bomb or something. I don't know.
Yes, because they did. The Mountain Lions did. And the Mountain Lions had a great performance this past weekend. They beat Western New Mexico by 20 points, beat New Mexico Highlands, which Highlands is a tough team. They beat them by 4, scoring 92 points. And so your resident investigator, the sports MC MJR Jamandi, caught up with one Darius Partner. I love Darius Partner, I got to tell you. I love all the guys from the basketball team, but, you know, Darius is such a good guy, such a great guy. I work with him at the Communication Center, and he is a model student athlete. Not that he models on the side or anything, but in terms of he excels in the classroom, he excels on the court. This kid kind of does it all. And a big shout out to his parents, who I heard are fans of the Lions Den.
Yes.
So I hope that is true, and I hope Mr. Partner was not blowing smoke up my hoo-ha. So I hope he was being straight up with me, and a big shout out to the parents there, because you got quite the kid there. Darius, I love that guy. He's a great guy. And I caught up with him a little while ago to talk to him about the current standings, and specifically about this past weekend and how the Mountain Lions did, how he feels. Darius has seen a lot here at UCCS, being that he's in his junior year now.
Right.
He played for the former head coach and really has seen this program evolve and kind of become what it is right now. It's completely different than it was his freshman year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to that interview with one Mr. Darius Partner. Here he is right here on the Lions Den. I'm joined now by Darius Partner of the UCCS men's basketball team. Now, Darius, the team is red hot right now, my friend. You won 2 games this weekend against a pair of New Mexico schools. You beat Western New Mexico on Friday night 81-61. That's a huge win, followed by a 4-point win against a tough New Mexico Highlands team, where the Mountain Lions won 92-88. How does it feel when I tell you those things? First of all, you got 2 big wins. And can you talk to the fans a little bit about those 2 games and what went so well for the Mountain Lions?
Well, you know, MJ, I think just coming from a player standpoint, you know, being in this league for 3 years now, I think it's just anytime you can get a win in the RMAC, especially on the road in general, you're going to take it and run with it. This was a great weekend for us. It was a huge business trip, and we realized that, and we just did a lot of good things. And we're really buying into the idea of, you know, sharing the ball and getting it done on defense and kind of really doing everything that our coach asked us to do.
That's a huge turnaround, Darius, from a season ago when Jeff Culver led the Mountain Lions to 5 wins all year. Right now, the team is at a record of 13-6 overall, an RMAC record of 9-5. So already UCCS has more than doubled the wins from a year ago, and there are still 7 games left to be decided. How does that feel right now when I tell you about such a huge turnaround and where the team is right now in the standings?
Well, definitely, it's a blessing just to be in this position, especially knowing where we came from. I definitely think that it's important for our team just to take it one game at a time and not get too ahead of ourselves. We still have, I believe, 7 games left in the season, and we really just want to come each day at practice just ready to work and compete at the highest level possible. We're definitely in a good spot. I think we control our own destiny. We put ourselves here through the hard work and coming together as a team. So I think if we could just take it one game at a time, by the end of the season, we'll be where we want to be.
And right now, the team is in 3rd place in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. So if the season ended today, you would host the first playoff game in UCCS men's basketball program history. And again, 7 games remaining, but I know you're very confident that the team is still going to be at a high standing when the season ends. So what are your thoughts on potentially hosting a playoff game this season and right now being in 3rd place in the RMAC?
It's definitely a feeling of confidence. I think at this point, kind of looking back to preseason, this was our goal. We want to win the RMAC. We want to host games. We want to win as many games. We want to finish top of the RMAC. These were all of our goals in the beginning of the season. So I think now coming down to the latter parts of the season, it's kind of, okay, we're getting closer to our goals. Let's, continue to stay focused and work as hard as possible. But we definitely believe that we could be here from the beginning. So it's just great to see this in general.
So I'm sure that the goal was to get to 13 wins at some point, 9 conference wins at some point, but the goals are not quite met and they're not over yet, right? So what's the end goal? What's the final result look like for the men's team this year? In your eyes, in your opinion, the team is red hot right now, but how do you expect the season to finish?
Well, you know what? As of right now, MJ, we're doing a lot of good things right now. Always, as your competitor, when you have your goals in front of you, you want to win. You want to win championships. You want to win numerous championships, and you just kind of want to achieve those. You achieve those goals through nothing but hard work. But right now, everything's in front of us, and our main goal is just to win a championship, national and RMAC.
Well, Darius, I can't commend you enough for the turnaround from last season. More than double your wins already. Quite a few big games coming up, but the team has been playing as well as I have ever seen them play. So congratulations on 2 big wins down in the land of enchantment, New Mexico. You beat up on some New Mexico schools, and you're getting ready for the final stretch. Thank you so much for joining me, Darius.
Thank you, MJ. Appreciate it, buddy.
How well-spoken is Darius' partner?
Well-spoken.
He is.
You know why, though? Because he works in the communication center.
That's right. We don't just hire anybody there.
That's right.
Amber. Yeah, absolutely. Darius Partner, very well spoken, very articulate, and a lot of very sound and solid points. I'm so happy for him and the rest of the Mountain Lions right now who have been a part of the team, seen some struggles. We had Jordan Carter on the show at the end of last semester. He has also been a part of the team for a few years now. He knows that some of the trials and tribulations of the team. Those aren't the only two, but certainly they've overcome a lot, and they're where they want to be. I think if you told Darius or Jordan 2 years ago when they were in the situation that they were in, that in just 2 seasons from now, you will be sitting at this record, this place in the RMAC, with this potential to host, I think they'd both be ecstatic. And I don't know if they'd believe it.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I don't think they would have believed they would even be in this position.
I wouldn't have believed it. I almost don't believe that they're here right now.
Right.
So, again, great job from head coach Jeff Culver, from Darius Partner, Jordan Carter, all the Mountain Lions. I mean, we go through the whole roster, but really even just talking to Darius one-on-one at times, he harps on the fact that they're so deep and there's so much talent on the team. And it's not just the first 5 guys that start, although they are incredible players, big ballin', the starting lineup. But the rest of the team also has stepped up.
Comes out and deliver.
That's right. They got to deliver too. They all got to deliver. Darius has got to hit those 4-point plays that all of a sudden he's hitting all the time this season when they foul him beyond the arc because they don't know what they're doing on defense. But yeah, he's got to do those things. The guy's got to step up, and they're doing that. And really, it's all about the Kool-Aid. They're drinking it. They're buying into head coach Jeff Culver and what he's been trying to teach the team. That is step number 1, and the results have followed. So thank you very much, Mr. Partner, for your time, and for the men's basketball team. I mean, great job, guys. Really great job. I'm really excited about the upcoming games, but Amber, that's not the job of this show anymore. So we're not going to preview the upcoming games, although we are going to say that it is going to be one of the most anticipated men's basketball games of the season. Women's basketball games, for that matter. It's going to be a huge night of basketball this Saturday.
Tune into Thursday. Lions Den at 10 so that you can find out what the game is.
That's right.
On Saturday.
That's right. You got to tune in Thursday at 10 to the Lions Den to hear the preview because we got a good one.
That's right.
It's always a good one, but it's going to be even better.
Yeah.
It's always topping ourselves.
It's one of the epic ones on Saturday. So
epic.
You got to tune in.
You got to tune in. Do it. That's right. Thursday at 10. You said it. So the women's basketball team will also be in action this weekend, and they were also in action this past weekend. The women's basketball team did the reverse of the men's basketball team over break. The men went 6-3. The women went 3-6. They had big wins against Western State, 70-52. They beat Black Hill State by 9 points. And as I mentioned, Black Hill State was on a 9-game conference winning streak. They were the hottest team in the RMAC when they came to play the Mountain Lions on Blackout Night, and their fire was put out by UCCS.
That day.
And then the Mountain Lions won the next night against Shattern State, 65-60. And you kind of felt like things were turning around for UCCS, for the women's team. They were getting back on track. They had lost during break to CSU Pueblo by just 1 point. So, I mean, that is obviously as close as it possibly comes in a loss. So, it really felt like they were starting to turn things around. That was a tough loss against CSU Pueblo, and I caught up with Jerry Pickle after that game to get her thoughts. Let's go ahead and jump to that interview really quickly right now. This is Jerry Pickle after the loss against CSU Pueblo back on January 4th to start off this year. All right, I am joined now by Jerry Pickle. Jerry, can I get your thoughts after a tough loss here tonight against CSU Pueblo? The final score, 65-64. Mountain Lions fell by 1. Can I get your thoughts on a very close game?
We didn't rebound very well as we should have, and our defense broke down a couple times. But, I mean, we got down in the first half. We made a really good comeback and kept a lead for a while. Just couldn't hold it out, and just hit a half-court shot at the end. That just made it worse. I wish we could have celebrated that, but it made it worse to only lose by only 1. But I don't know. We should have rebounded better and played better defense.
You had a pretty good game overall, though. 14 points. You went 2 for 4 from downtown, a couple of big three-point shots. How are you feeling out there on the court? It seemed like you had a really good game and things were going well for you. What were your thoughts out there on the court?
Yeah. I think I've been doing better. I've been trying to just play and have more fun lately than putting more pressure on myself. It's my senior year, so I just kind of last chance to play really and end my career well. So I've just kind of been going out with the mindset of having fun, because that's why I play the game, because I love it. So, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the current standings right now? The Mountain Lions fell in this game, so you're 4-7 overall, 3-4 in the RMAC. What are your thoughts on the current standing, and how confident are you moving forward that you're still going to finish strong?
I'm very confident moving forward. I think at this point in the RMAC, it's anybody's win. And I think, every team right now is pretty confident about getting wins in their next matchups. So I think the RMAC is just a big dogfight, but I feel really confident in our ability. I think we just haven't peaked yet, so that's good for us.
Next match on Friday against Western State. What are your thoughts on that game?
Game's on Thursday, actually, which is weird, but thoughts on that game, I feel confident about it. They had a couple big upset games, but we've always done well against Western State. We're playing at altitude, so I think as long as we're hydrated and stay focused, then I think it'll be good.
Drink plenty of water, and things are going to be good, says Jerry Pickle.
Yep.
All right, well, good luck, and good job tonight.
Thank you.
Yep. And that was Jerry Pickle after a tough loss to the rival CSU Pueblo. That Western State game that she alluded to was a big win for UCCS. Again, the Mountain Lions won that game 70-52. So things have kind of changed slightly in the standings since that game, because that's a little older. But, still reason for optimism right now. The Mountain Lions are on the outside looking into the playoff picture. But if you bring up the standings right now, there is a cluster for the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th seeds.
Yeah.
And so with 7 games remaining, Amber, still plenty of time for the Mountain Lions to make a run, but it's got to start soon.
That's all right. Well, at least they're still in there as a contender to be in the RMAC tournament. That's all that matters, and hopefully they'll use that as their drive to keep going and pushing forward on these next 7 games.
And honestly, you never know what happens. It's just like March Madness, the NCAA tournament. Yeah. You get into the dance and you just don't know who's going to make a run, who's going to be the Cinderella story. And let's not forget that the UCCS Mountain Lions were projected to finish first place in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference preseason coaches poll.
Yes.
And so that obviously doesn't guarantee anything, but it says that the team clearly is good, that the other coaches in the RMAC have respect for this team. And let's not forget that Abby Kirchhoff was named the RMAC preseason player of the year.
That's right.
And so you get that squad in the tournament, and that's not a team I'd want to play.
Nope.
As an 8 seed, that is dangerous.
Yep.
The Mountain Lions can be very dangerous. So, not exactly where they want to be, I think, at this moment in the season. If we look at the records, they're 6-9 in the RMAC. They're 7-12 overall. Not where they hope to be. But again, Amber, lots of time. Lots of time. Can't harp that enough.
Yep.
So, that is the scenario, but it's got to start somewhere. You know where it's going to start?
Where?
This next game. That is this weekend. That if you want to know the preview and know what's happening, you got to tune in Thursday at 10 to the Lions Den to figure all that stuff out. So that is all we're going to say about the women's basketball team right now. They got a lot to play for this weekend, though, and quite possibly the biggest game of the year for them this weekend.
I can't wait for this weekend's game.
I'm so excited. Amber, I'm so excited. You know what else is exciting, Amber? Other athletics also in action.
That's right.
And you are the expert being part of the UCCS women's track and field team. There's nobody better to tell us what's going down than you. And so track and field also in action this past weekend, both men's and women's. So we got to tell the millions and millions and millions of listening Lions out there what happened.
Well, we went down to Colorado Mines this weekend, and we all had little scattered races. It was a 2-day meet. We raced at 7 o'clock at night, which is a little odd.
So odd.
Yeah, I was like, it's a little
Good night.
different. Yeah. But we raced at 7, the distant medley relay, which we were trying to qualify in. The female.
DNR?
Yeah, distant medley relay.
Yeah,
DMR.
yeah.
The females, they provisionally qualified, which means if no other team comes up and beats their time, they pretty much make it to national. And then our guys just barely missed it by 6 seconds. So
6 seconds?
Yeah, but they're going to come up. Travis Whitman almost provisionally qualified as well in the 400-meter dash with a 50:37 converted time. He missed it by 2/10 of a second.
Oh!
Yeah, which is always rough.
I think they started the stopwatch 0.2 of a second
Yeah.
late. That's what I think. I would protest.
I would argue that.
That's right. I want a replay.
They say 0.2 of a second is what he missed it by.
Oh my gosh.
So next time, hopefully he'll come out and bring it.
That's literally
motivation.
one little hesitation.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It sucks. 4x4, both 4x4 teams for the females and the males took second place overall, which is pretty cool. Angie and Maddie Nair took first and second in the 5K, Woo! And they won by over a minute and a half in the game, so it was pretty impressive.
Dominating.
Yeah, I was like, that was an impressive race for them.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, I was like, they basically lapped them at least twice on the track if you think about it. So that was pretty impressive for them.
Mismatch.
Yeah. Let's see. We had Jessica Todd ran this weekend, and she got second. No, she placed 7th in the 200, but she made it to the finals, so that was pretty cool for her. She also ran the 4x4 with the ladies, and she was the anchor leg, so she helped bring in that second place finish for them. Chelsea got 6th place, so she brought in some points for UCCS in the 400, so it was a pretty great race for them.
Seemed like a good team effort there.
Yeah, it was great. It's a good week to bust some rust. Next week.
Bust some rust.
Yeah, I was like.
Almost sounds illegal.
It was good, though. I mean, we had a pretty great meet coming back. Our freshman, Haley Gant, she's been having a really great indoor season lately. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember before break, we found out that she had broke some UCCS records in her 60-meter finals. Well, she happened to win her heat in the 60-meter final on Saturday, and she also won her heat for the 200, which is pretty impressive. And she just barely missed making the finals for the 60 meters by one place on Saturday. So it was pretty close. It was a good race. Our mid-distance guys are doing good, too. They took 4th, 5th, and 9th inside the 800-meter run, so that was pretty impressive.
Getting it done.
That's right. Got to make it work.
That's just what we do.
Yes. Got to make it happen.
Putting it down.
Right.
I love it. So, obviously, we don't want to preview anything because that show's coming up on Thursday.
That's right.
But things are going to keep happening, right?
Yes.
And how do you feel right now, Amber, about the team and about, where things are right now with the track and field, both on the men's and the women's side?
I think this is probably the strongest both teams have been in the 3 years that I was here. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
we've been nationally ranked before.
Yeah.
You think we're better than that?
Well, I mean, the cross country team's been nationally ranked before, and our track team some of our races went to nationals last year, but I think we're right back on track to be there again, and probably even faster and quicker and better than what we were.
Wow.
So I think it's one of the strongest years we have going into it this year. So
it's like a Kanye West song. Faster, bigger, stronger. Yeah.
Better.
That's right. Better. So you're feeling good.
Yes.
Team's looking good.
Yes.
That's exciting.
I mean, all that work we would do in the snow, we better look good.
Right?
Yeah, it's like running in sand and snow. It sucks. So, I mean, but it's strength training, so it
Pays
works.
off in the
Yeah,
long run.
it works. Get
That's
the job
fun.
done.
That is fun. Well, we're going to go ahead and get you all the results next week for everything that went down here on the results show for the Lions Den. But again, big things happening, Amber. We got the expansion show this Thursday at 10. Fans, be sure to tune in for that. We already got our first guest lined up. We got head coach of the UCCS women's basketball team, Coach Corey Lasser. He's going to stop by, and he's going to tell us all about the current state of the women's basketball team.
You don't want to miss it because they're going to get the Lions Den bump.
That's right. You know what, Amber, we were talking about this during commercial break. You know, the women went 3-6 over break on the outside of the playoff picture looking in.
Yep.
It's because we have yet to have a women's basketball player and or coach on the show yet to get the bump. You said it, and you were right. I can't agree with that anymore. People, you know how it goes. When you come on the show, you get
the bump.
You get the bump. You get the Lions Den bump. Okay? Let's just break it down. Okay. We had Jordan Carter and Jake Campbell on the show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where's the men's basketball team right now?
They're on a 6-3 win
Killing
over
it.
winter break.
Killing it. Best record of all time to this point in the
About
season.
to
right?
potentially host the first RMAC
For the first time
tournament
ever.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Lions Den bump.
coincidence?
No.
No, I don't think so, dude.
No.
I just don't think so. No. Okay, so we're going to get head coach Corey Lasser on the show on Wednesday to preview the upcoming games this weekend and what quite possibly could be the biggest game of the season for the UCCS women's basketball team. A huge night of basketball overall, Saturday night. Do you know what's on Friday?
What's on Friday?
Well, it's nothing yet, but soon it'll be a national holiday. It's MJ Day. That's my birthday.
Oh,
On Friday. Yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Hey, thanks, dude.
What?
Appreciate it. Yeah, so Friday is MJ Day. And then Saturday, big games, big things popping. And we're going to talk to head coach Corey Lasser all about that on Wednesday. And then, you know what, Amber? In a couple weeks, we also have some of your buddies coming on the show.
Right.
Excuse me, from the track and field team as well. That is going to be a great show because, Amber, can you tell the fans just a little bit? There's a group in the cross-country team and the track and field team who have organized. It's unbelievable what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're raising money to help rebuild schools in Kenya.
Yes.
And they're actually making a difference, Amber. It's not just, oh, here's $5. No, I mean, you're talking about a huge results, huge impact. And these are all students here at UCCS who decided that they can make a difference, so they did. Tell the millions, Amber.
Yes.
What do you know?
I know last year they went out to Kenya and they got to meet a lot of great students out there, and they decided they wanted to make a difference. And they went through this whole entire organization putting together called the Harambee Foundation, and they basically raised money to send out to the school. And they went back recently to Kenya to see how their progress has been going.
Pocket.
Yes.
They paid thousands of dollars out of their own pocket to go
back
there to Kenya and make a difference. Oh
yeah,
my God,
so
it's
I mean,
unbelievable.
in 2 weeks you're gonna find out all the progress that they've been
Yeah.
making and what they've seen. And I can tell you that they had a lot of progress in the school that they're helping in Kenya, and it's been a lot of help. And you'll get to hear all the little fundraising stuff they're doing and how
Yeah.
you can help out. It was pretty cool.
Absolutely. We'll
Started
cover
from the
that.
bottom.
Yeah, and now they're
they're
here.
here.
They are. I mean, I honestly, so much respect
Yeah,
for those
it's-
guys.
it's pretty
for that
impressive.
group, not just guys, but everybody involved. Unbelievable things what they're doing. They were literally hiring new teachers in Kenya to teach the youth to
Yes.
try to help educate areas to improve.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
it's so
I
cool.
think they told us that they have like 7 new teachers.
That they hired.
Yeah, that they
are
hired.
solely
So
responsible for helping hire 7 new teachers in Kenya to teach the youth.
yep.
It's crazy. I get really excited talking about that, Amber, because we cover so much sports here, and I love sports. I'm a huge sports enthusiast.
Right.
But when you get something like this, the humanitarian effort, for no reason other than just to help,
It's amazing.
It's so exciting.
Great.
And the least we can do, Amber, is bring them on the show, promote what they're doing, talk about what they're doing, commend them for doing it. And that's what we're going to do 2 weeks from today. They're going to be on the program. We brought them on last year when things were kind of just starting. So it's going to be really exciting to talk to them now that they've been doing this for a year. They've made a huge difference. Amber, I really am excited.
I'm excited.
They're going to come on. You know them all personally. I know them from working with athletics, and it's going to be a great group of people in 2 weeks. Next week, on Tuesday, I don't know what's going on. We got results to cover. But, again, we have things starting up this Thursday. So, fans, be sure to stick with us. Tune in this Thursday at 10 to the Lions Den, the expansion show. It will have guest Corey Laster of the UCCS women's basketball team, the head coach. He'll be on. In the meantime, Amber, you know what to do. You got to like us on Facebook. You got to follow us on Twitter. And you got to stalk us in real life. Please do that, people. And we always finish the show with a certain thing. We still got to finish the show with a certain thing. So, Amber, tell the millions and dozens of fans out there what to watch for.
You want to watch for that expansion show on Thursday.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Lions Den at 10.
That's right.
With guest star Corey Laster. You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, there's nothing else you want to do.
And you get to meet the new co-host, Kelsey. So
that's right.
Don't want to miss out on
Big
it.
things popping.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So, yes, please tune in Thursday at 10 to the Lions Den. And, of course, every Tuesday at 10 to the Lions Den, the official source for UCCS Sports. And until Thursday, and until next time, go Mountain Lions!